Hey everybody, it's Jo. Welcome back to my channel. I'm going to share with you today my number one unhealthy coping strategy. So this is not something to follow, but it might be something that you do. This is something I have done for years and years, and I want to talk about what I do, why I do it, and why I'm talking about it today specifically. So for as long as I can remember, in group settings, or even just interpersonal settings, like if I'm just talking to one person, I always take on a helping role or a supportive role or try to take on like a leadership role. Because if you do that, you don't have to be vulnerable. You don't have to self-disclose. You don't have to let people actually be there for you. It is a great way to avoid dealing with yourself. It is a great way to avoid engaging with what you need to engage with, and I am really practiced in this strategy. For a year and a half, I was part of a really intense survivors group, and while it was really intense, I would share things like really honest, important details of my story or stuff that was really hard, stuff that I'd struggled with. But it was always stuff that, like if like this was my trauma, I'd share like this, and I'd worked through most of that. Like this was the stuff that really hurt. This was the stuff that I had questions about, that I was struggling with. But if you dive into all of this with people, then it looks like you're being honest. It looks like you're being emotional and vulnerable, and people feel like they're helping you, but you stay safe. And that's what I did. I took on a helpful, supportive, semi-leadership role. I wasn't in a leadership role. It's just that that's sort of like the role that I took on in my own head. And in the lake that is my trauma, I only ever went that deep, instead of the place I actually needed to go to find help or healing or get further in my journey. And so I don't know if this is something you do, but those are two strategies I have deployed my entire life to deal with anything, and to keep people at arm's length away. It's effective. It is not healthy. And so back in early fall, Break the Silence Against Domestic Violence, fabulous organization that I love, announced that they were having a Survivor Sisters retreat in Colorado Springs, which is where I live. And so I told myself that when the application came out, I would not think, I would just fill it out and send it out. And so the moment that the email came out, the applications were open, that's what I did. I just logged on the site, filled it out, sent it, and did not allow myself any time to talk myself out of it or tell myself there are people who are more deserving, or you don't really belong there, or you shouldn't go, you know, whatever excuses I wanted to make up. I didn't even let myself think about that. I just sent the application and left it in their hands. A couple of months later, I got a call back for a phone interview, because they always do those. They said they'd like to have me there after talking to them. And so I got really excited and really scared, because I knew that the reason I needed to go or wanted to go to this retreat was to confront this thing in me. Because this is going to be a very supportive, loving, encouraging environment, right? That is terrifying to me. I know that sounds probably like a wonderful thing to most people, and it is, it really is, but it makes me want to run away and scream and curl up in a little ball and sob all at once. Because that involves actually letting people in, actually letting people help me, and I am at the point in my journey where I want to confront that. And as it's drawn closer, I've gotten more and more scared. And this week I've started having crazy nightmares again. Nightmares kind of went away for a while for me, but they are back. And I know it's my subconscious lashing out against this idea of being vulnerable with people and really addressing things that they can help with, addressing things that if I speak them out and like bring them out of the darkness in my mind, that there will be healing for, there will be support for. Like, these are people who understand, who get it, who have been there, and who I can be honest and real with. And like, I've never really allowed myself, I literally can't think of a single situation ever where, except for like one-on-one with really, really, really close people, like cried and let people be there for me. Maybe like a couple glistening tears. That's it. So, my counselor, we were talking earlier this week, and she said that my homework is to tell the leaders of the retreat basically what my coping skills are and how I tend to try to help everyone else take on leadership roles to avoid myself, and to let them help me not do that. So that's what I'm gonna do, and it's gonna be scary, but that is what I need to do for my own journey through trauma, and it'll be good. So I'm excited to share with you what I have when I come back. This video will go up actually when I'm at the retreat, so I am not sure if there will be a video going up on Tuesday. I don't know if I have time to do that before I leave for the retreat, so there may or may not be one. I may miss a day, but there will definitely be one on Thursday, and I'm really excited to share with you guys what I have learned from other people and maybe myself when I come back. So I really appreciate you guys listening. If you have similar coping strategies, I would love to know. I don't think I'm alone in this, but what are your coping strategies? Maybe they look like mine and maybe they don't. I would love to hear. Let me know in the comments below. This is Trauma Talk, and I am Jo Beckwith. I talk every other day, except on weird weeks like this, about trauma, about life after trauma, and about mental illness. I would love it if you would hit subscribe if you're on YouTube, or like on Facebook, as you do not want to miss these videos coming out every other day, like I said. Thanks guys, take care of yourself, and I will see you in a couple days.